Good evening. My name is Noah Herndon, and this is the Groundview. It's been quite a while since we've sat here. As the 2023 election begins to race towards us, the Groundview is rising back up again to preview the coming election and to interview candidates laying their names forth for the Teenpact student body. But today is a bit different. Instead of speculating or looking forward to the 2023 election, the Groundview decided to recap and analyze what occurred in the 2022 election and see what framework may have been set for the elections to follow. We thank you for tuning in to this special edition of the Groundview. We are excited to welcome you back to this new season of the Groundview. To get things started, the Groundview decided to recap and analyze last year's election, realizing the important value the 2022 election may have concerning the framework of the 2023 election. So what exactly did we see last year? For starters, one thing that was particularly noticed was the involvement of students in campaigns and elections themselves. Multiple students decided to run for representative and senatorial roles last year, and one of the most marked candidates in that category was Grace Franklin from the state of Tennessee, who won the role of representative of the Teenpact student body. Furthermore, two specific students rose to represent the student body as a whole within the Powers-Ehrenberg campaign, those two being, of course, Noah Powers and Myra Ehrenberg. Those two individuals represented a new age in Teenpact student elections in which students may be able to challenge staffers in the future. Noah Powers was recognized as having bested all other candidates in name recognition, gaining over 80% name recognition preceding the event. It is important to look at student involvement in the elections in order to determine how important outreach to students may prove in the 2023 election. This is an issue that the Groundview this year believes will be paramount for any successful campaign. Now, last year, the Groundview had the opportunity to interview an individual by the name of Max Cepeda, an election analyst expert who outlined what to expect in the upcoming election. One of the phenomena that Max specifically brought forth was the importance of reaching displaced voters. As the primaries concluded, voters who had pledged to vote for either the Powers-Ehrenberg campaign or the Baker-Erickson campaign found themselves without their primary ticket that they had planned to vote for going into the general election. It was paramount for the campaigns that did advance to the general election to gain support from these voter bases. The question was, who would succeed in that effort? The Goodrich-Goff campaign, the Smith-George campaign, or the Savage-Breedlove campaign? Looking at the election results themselves, the outcome appears clear. While the Savage-Breedlove campaign was expected to be the heavy hitter of the 2022 election season, they had the poorest showing come election night. Goodrich-Goff, which was expected to be the weakest ticket moving into the general election, secured several states which were previously believed to be held by such tickets as the Powers-Ehrenberg and Baker-Erickson campaign, such as Michigan, Arizona, South Carolina, and Alabama. A crucial aspect that was witnessed come election night was the Goodrich-Goff campaign's ability to swing the home state of Brooks-Breedlove, the home state of course, Alabama. This was particularly noted in the Groundview's polls last year and was reflected in election news coverage. However, despite the Goodrich-Goff's ability to take Savage-Breedlove voters, they were unable to overcome the massive Smith-George wave that swept the nation, specifically in the heart of Teenpact, such as the states of Georgia, Florida, Tennessee, and Texas. These states represent some of the big six states that should be expected to dominate the next coming elections, not to mention Corbin Smith's home of Missouri, which is looking to become one of the largest states within the Teenpact nation, and possibly the most influential state in Teenpact national elections. But looking past the presidential election to the representative and senatorial races, a particular phenomenon was witnessed and recognized both by the Groundview and by Teenpact at large. Whereas most travel staffers were expected to commit to either the presidential or vice presidential candidate, many travel staffers last year chose to run either for representative or senatorial positions. This is not the case moving into this year, however, as we have already seen many elected officials announce that they will be running for the presidency or the vice presidency of the Teenpact nation. Such individuals include Jediah Baker, Isabella Goodrich, and Bradley Heredia. We are expected to see more developments coming through the next couple of months. However, it is interesting to note that most massive travel staffers who command influence across the nation have chosen this year to run for the presidency, whereas last year many chose to run for smaller positions. How this will impact the ultimate picture of the Teenpact election is yet to be seen. what can we begin to take from the 2022 presidential election as we look to the election of 2023? Well, one of the most important facets of the 2022 election was the importance of the massive states of Texas, Florida, and Missouri, which provided over 40 electoral votes in total. The Smith-George campaign was able to capitalize on those big states and gain a massive lead in the polls. If a ticket is able to capitalize on some connection to either Missouri, Florida, or Texas, and perhaps gain 2 of those 2 states, it may be possible for them to secure a massive foothold in the coming election, one that no other ticket may be able to possess. Furthermore, any candidate who is arising from one of those states will likely hold massive sway over voters from that particular state, as was seen with Corbin Smith in the state of Missouri. Though Brooks Breedlove was upset in his home state of Alabama, all other home states voted with their own candidates. This should be expected moving forward into 2023, meaning that such states as Missouri, Texas, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, North Carolina, Mississippi, and Louisiana could see massive tickets arise if they were able to capitalize on the popularity within their own state and begin to extend the reaches of their campaign to neighboring states that also hold quite a sway in the Electoral College. So what can we expect going forward into the 2023 election? Surprises, many of them to be sure. Only a few tickets have fully announced they are running. This goes both for the presidency and for representative and senatorial campaigns. Grace Franklin has announced her bid to run for the senatorial position, and it will be interesting to see what other presidential and senatorial tickets continue to rise. Of course, there will always be wildcards to any election, such as the Powers-Ehrenberg campaign last year. Noah Powers remains a prominent figure in Teenpact, and it will be interesting to see where his cards end up landing come election time. Should he choose to run, he will be a candidate to watch out for, as his name recognition has only grown since last year. Furthermore, Bruce Bigler, who was recently announced to be running with Emma Freeland, serves as an interesting prospect as well. As the second most popular senator elected last year, with him choosing to run, the Teenpact Nation should be very wary of any momentum he brings into an election. Now, one thing does appear quite obvious amidst all the speculation. The Teenpact Nation is excited for upcoming elections. Last year, we saw the rise of student tickets and student campaigns, and this year we are expected to see the exact same. As the McDermott-Grolman campaign, a student-led ticket, has already announced they are running in the 2023 election. This is an exciting new page in Teenpact politics. Student involvement is paramount to the continued success and popularity of Teenpact elections. The Groundview encourages all students, whether you are attending NatCon or not, to participate in elections, whether that be joining a campaign, running yourself, or even simply casting in your vote. Make your voice heard. The thrill of election night, the opportunity to share your voice, is an incredible experience that should not be ignored. As we look forward to the 2023 election, it is becoming obvious that a new movement of Teenpact students, state staffers, and travel staffers are looking forward to having the opportunity to share their opinions, views, and messages with the Teenpact student body. Now, as we look to an election full of change and uncertainty, the Groundview itself is expected to receive some new changes. I personally am excited to announce that the Groundview is expanding its family of interviewers and hosts. From me, and only me, to an unpaid intern. Don't worry, he will be making half the profits, which are currently still 0. I'm excited to announce that Ben Fultron will be joining the Groundview as an unpaid intern. He will be helping me by conducting polls, interviews, and general election analysis. While I will not be departing from the Groundview entirely, Ben will be an incredible help moving forward, and I hope that you appreciate him just as much as I have. Don't worry, the Groundview won't be going anywhere. We're excited to continue moving forward into this election, to begin holding interviews with possible candidates, and to continue analysis moving forward. Come May, who knows? The Groundview may show up at NatCon after all. It's been incredible to return. Season 2 of the Groundview should be just as incredible as it was last year, if not even better. I'm so thankful to be bringing Ben on for help, and I would like to offer an invite to anyone running for candidacy. What made the Groundview incredible last year was the community that was built with the viewers and the candidates at large. We will be beginning to host interviews once again, and I would ask that you either contact myself or Ben Fultron regarding possibly taking an interview. We would love to have you on the Groundview and to give you an opportunity to share your opinions, views, and message with the rest of the Teenpact student body. Contact information will be shared down below. Again, we're looking forward to hearing from you. This season of the Groundview could prove better than last year, and we're excited to see what happens. Now, as always, my name is Noah Herndon, and this is the Groundview.